Let's get to some NFL. Now, I've been seeing different things where they talk about the Browns quarterback situation, and I cannot find anybody with a good argument for Deshaun Watson. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to hear you out. But if your argument places the most weight on money and not performance, then that's not an argument I got to listen to for a long time. If your argument is based on going back to 2020, I don't have to spend a lot of time here. Deshaun Watson has played games in the Cleveland Browns uniform. If you are unwilling to look at what he did in the Cleveland Browns uniform or speak on the injuries that he's had, I'm not going to spend that much time on that conversation. I'm not going to spend that much time on it. I'm not going to do it. I got one for y'all. Exhibit A.
Quarterback position.
I think it's Deshaun Watson, and I don't think it's even close. I think, you know what's amazing? When you look at Deshaun Watson, he seems like he's like a 10th year senior in college.
Yeah.
This dude's only 30 years old. I think Todd Monken is a football savant. He's an offensive guru. I think he figures out how to take advantage and go back to those Bill O'Brien type offenses. Play action, throw the ball down the field. I said it. Don't look at me like that, Luke.
We just don't know. We don't know what Deshaun Watson is.
Again, Bill O'Brien and Deshaun Watson were together for the Houston Texans. Todd Monken is not Bill O'Brien. They're two different people, two different style of leadership. Once Bill O'Brien got in control, the first thing he did was he traded DeAndre Hopkins for peanuts. So what are we doing, man? What are we doing? So when I hear these things, I'm just like, this doesn't deserve that much time. But the injuries are a real thing. Are we going to talk about the injuries? Are we going to talk about them? Or we going to jump right past it? Okay. Okay. No one thinks Watson started is going to get you 10 wins. Nobody think that. Watson been out of the game too long, too many big injuries affecting him physically and mentally. I agree with that, Brent. They can't talk about the money when that money has been stretched out for years. Fact. He gets the buzzer. Let's give him the buzzer. It was such these takes. I'm like, man, oh man, like, what are we doing? Lots to go group think and group talk about Deshaun Watson. Nobody wants to think or have independent thought. It's all kabuki theater. I agree. It's all the same thing. It always goes to the same place. I'm like, what is this? Interesting. But then they say, we don't know what he'll look like, hedging their bets. I'm glad you caught that, Zedric. If you believe in him, say you believe in him. If you don't believe in him, then say you don't believe in him. But they plant themselves firmly in the gray. Watson may get you the number 1 draft pick next year, though, if that's what they're going for. I agree, D. That's a time you just wasted and can never get back. If you notice, I kept it short. Very short. That move got O'Brien fired. It made no sense on that trade, that Hopkins trade. No sense. What injuries? That's what they act like. There's some people that think that they think Shedeur will win 5 to 7 games. Man, Shedeur winning 5 to 7 games is still more than I've heard people say Deshaun can win. I hear people say put Deshaun out there first by week 5 or so, then you're going to put Shedeur in. That means you either went 0-5 or you went 1-4 if you're switching quarterbacks. That's not faith or belief in that person. That's not it. Takes 8 basic. That's why people are coming to independent media. That's a fact. Watson talk is just a new version of anybody but Shedeur. Yeah. I think these people have shown that they fell for everything that was said about Shedeur, and since they fell for it, they can't just go back against it. So now they just got to ride with what they said. They believed every leak out of Cleveland. Shedeur can't read. Shedeur can't write. They had to teach him how to tie his shoes. They had to teach Shedeur how to put his helmet on. They said, hey, these were what we call shoulder pads. This is a football. So since they had to teach Shedeur all those things and they believed it, they can't go back on it now and say now he's a starter. They fed right into the narratives of, Shedeur he should have redshirted the whole year. Now look, it just don't make sense, y'all. It don't make sense. Let's keep it pushing. That's one weak situation with Deshaun Watson. Let's hear another one. Let me get the sound on for y'all. Shout out to Zedric for sending me this. If playing Watson will get you the number 1 pick next year, it will also get you fired. AB and Monk, and they doing that. Talk to him, Craig. Watson main target was I believe Watson main target was Hopkins, and that trade got Kyler Murray, that 9-0 start, tag teaming him with Fitzgerald. This team feels like that with Boston and KC. I agree. It's politics, but they seem invested in rehabbing Deshaun's public image right now. Yeah, it's strange, man. Instead of just talking about the football player, we got another one.
Competition. I think it's very important to know the investment, and maybe just go back and remember the investment that the Browns made in Deshaun Watson, the $230 million guaranteed, the 3 first-round picks, all of that capital given up, and they have not gotten a return on it. I wanted to remind everybody, and I went back and looked at this, what Deshaun Watson did in his last year in Houston in 20.
They always talk about getting a return on investment. I'm telling you, if you were going to use financial phrases, don't just use the financial phrase that you believe works to your advantage. Go the whole way with the example. What they are doing is they put their money into a company they believe would be the next Tesla. So they went with a Lucid. They went with what's the other EV where the guy ended up going to jail? I can't even think of the name of it right now. But they went with another company and said this is gonna be the next big thing. Until it's not. It's been proven that this is not the next big thing. The stock is now a penny stock. It's less than $5 on the stock market. Any investor with any type of clear thought would say, you know what? We have to cut our losses. We got to cut our losses. They only talk about the investment, but they never talk about when you get to a point. If you buy, this is very basic, y'all. If you buy a stock at $75 when it IPOs, that stock is now less than $10. You are never getting your money back. Never. You're never getting that money back. So they're only using half of the approach. It's never going back to $75. Cut them losses and keep it moving. This is a lesson so you don't do it again. This is not what you hold your hat on. The company is never going to be worth $75 a share again. It's less than $10. It's not coming back. It's not coming back. If a company goes from $75 to under $10 without a stock split, that company has effectively done something where they have lost trust in a lot of the financial market. So you just got to let it go. You got to let it go. Watson still got talent and some team going to give him a shot. I'll tell y'all, my biggest critique of Deshaun Watson is his health. It's his health. That's my biggest critique. When I watch him, when I break down his film, I look at the last time he was healthy, which is all we can go based on when you want to break it down to football. The only thing you can go based on is the last time he was healthy. When you look at him, there are parts of the field he cannot attack. So I'm looking at it from a health standpoint. I'm not saying I don't want Deshaun to get another shot or anything. I'm saying physically, unless his shoulder has recovered and everything is a lot better, I don't believe he can do physically what they believe he can do. Mine is all physical, y'all. It's all physical. Because if you can't get the ball where you want it to go, If you can't get the ball where you want it to go, there's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do. So, dude, am I saying I don't want Deshaun to get a shot? No. I'm saying that a lot of quarterbacks, when they've had similar shoulder surgery that he's had to their throwing shoulder, they've had to do a lot to change how they throw the ball, or they were never able to throw the ball the same way. They were never able to. Look at Cam Newton. Drew Brees had to adjust his throw motion. It's a lot of stuff you have to do. So if I'm coming straight from football, I'm not saying I want him to fail, none of that. I'm saying just look at the film, look at him when he was healthy, and he couldn't get the ball where he wanted to go. That's just what it was. So let me ask a question. What return on investment are they expecting to receive now they haven't got back when he was healthy? Keep Mathis. That's why I said they got to go further with if they're going to use the financial example, keep going, go further with the financial example, because anybody in the financial markets would say you just got to cut your losses. They're not going to be able to get the return on investment. The money's gone, the money's spent. In the present, the Browns haven't shown they are invested at all. Just an opportunity for him to get his career back on track. I agree with that. That's why I think these arguments, I'm like, man, these are some of the weakest arguments I see. That money is gone, spent. They are not trying to recoup it back in Watson's last year. They will get more by going with Shedeur. I agree. What can Deshaun Watson do to make the Browns $200 million back in one season? Nothing. A Super Bowl won't bring the Browns $200 million. They're not getting it back. And I ain't talking about $200 million in additional sales. No. I'm saying $200 million after expenses and everything else. It's nothing he could do.